I met Murray through a mutual friend. His neighbor I went to high school with, his name is Brian. And Brian and I were talking on Facebook. And Brian said, I have the perfect guy for you to meet. Well, I was kind of nervous and skeptical because I was new to the dating world and just didn't know if I was ready to put myself out there. But Murray and I started talking on Facebook, and we all decided to go out together as a group date. And Murray and I were the only ones who showed up for the group date. So we went to Art Prize, and we went to the Bob where Brian met up with us, and we chatted, and we went dancing, and we had a very nice evening getting to know each other.
When I first saw Andrea, it wasn't like it was love at first sight. Might have been infatuation at first sight, but she had a pureness about her.
We talked about what was important to us in relationships and what we thought we could bring to a relationship if we were serious in one. We talked about some past experiences, and we talked about things that we like to do and people in our lives, like our parents.
Well, as the story went, we were supposed to go out as a group of friends, and happened to be Andrea pulling up in my driveway and me meeting her in the driveway. I think the first thing I said to her was, "Oh, so you're Andrea. I'm Murray." And that was kind of the start of it. And later on that evening, we went to Art Prize together and met up with Brian downtown, and we did our first dancing at the Bob. And I think I laughed at her once too many times because I think she got a little self-conscious of her dance style. I think I called it the Western swag. And but we had a great time. In fact, I think she later on told me that it was one of the nicest first dates that she had ever had.
Well, Murray and I have had some huge discussions on what love is. And I think love is a choice. I think you choose to love someone. It's nice when you feel it too, but sometimes I think feelings start with infatuation. But love's a choice, and it's a choice that we've made together. Love can hurt. It can bring you tears many times.
Our togetherness comes in the things that we like to do. And one of the things I most dearly loved about her was she likes to have the wind in her face. And when she said that, it was like, it just struck a heart with me because, I enjoy sailing and snow skiing, and she enjoys being on the sailboat, and she loves to snow ski, and she likes to ride bikes, and she likes quad riding, and she just loves being outside. In fact, one of the funniest stories I share with people is that I called her up one morning to say good morning to her, and it was real early. I was on my way to work at 6 a.m. and she gets to the phone, she says, "Shh," because she was up in a tree at 6 a.m. out hunting.
We like to be outdoors. We are really into sailing. We skied all last winter, and he's really helped me with my, as I say, my carving. He's big in helping me with my carving. And we really like sailing and boating and just hanging out. We love to garden together. Murray likes the Bachelorette. I am so far from reality TV. He gets really into this kind of TV, and I'm appalled by it. I just kind of laugh and giggle and think, how could I waste my time watching reality TV, especially the Bachelorette? I think the framework of marriage is ultimate commitment. It's ultimate adoration of your partner. Always being there through thick and thin, ultimate trust, ultimate integrity. It is being that person's partner for life. It is being, in what the Bible says, the covenant.
Commitment is total honesty, forgiveness, truthfulness, and above all, being there for that person when they need you always.
It is being that person's ultimate soul. It is giving all of you to that somebody.
One of the things I love about Andrea is just her willingness to just go out on the edge. And I tell her to hike on a sailboat, and she takes off on the edge of the boat, or I say, hey, let's be ready in 5 minutes, and and we're gonna go dancing, or we're gonna go to a football game, or let's watch the Tiger game down the street, and she's, boom, ready to go and just totally energetic about it.
Murray, he's such a storyteller. He likes to use his hands, and he gets really into telling stories, and I just love to hear him, but I think it's so funny. He tells stories and he puts so much enthusiasm in them, and I think it's one reason why I love him. I think marriage is ultimate togetherness, ultimate sharing of everything, every aspect of life.
Well, Andrea and I were dating, probably 9 months or so, and things were moving along real well, and starting to feel a little parental pressure. I know that her mother wanted to know if this was just going to be a dating relationship or if it was going to be any kind of long-term commitment. And this was over the Christmas holidays, and we spent the entire Christmas holiday up north in Boyne skiing, and it was just wonderful. Her family, my family, skiing, beautiful conditions, and I think everybody thought the question was going to be popped then. And that was a big thing for me because I've never been married before, and actually never been to a diamond store before. In fact, learning the 4 C's was a learning experience for this teacher. And it was after we went and spent those holidays together that I decided this was the woman that I wanted to live with for the rest of my life and just share everything with.
Actually, Murray and I were kind of having a little tisk at the time when he did propose to me. It was very exciting. He called and said, will you at least go out with me on my birthday dinner? So his birthday was February 1st this year, and he invited me to come down to the Amway Grand.
And had dinner at Cygnus. Well, prior to all of her knowledge, I was running all over Grand Rapids, just buying a video recorder because I wanted to videotape it. She had no idea that this was coming up. And I went to the restaurant, hand-selected the waiter and the waitress, and cued him in on everything, and set up a beautiful table overlooking the city.
And ate at the top in the restaurant. And I really made sure I looked really good that night. I really decked out in a very fancy dress with a big, long fur coat, and really made my hair gorgeous.
She was just dressed to the hilt. I mean, she looked beautiful, just stunning.
And he told me that the dinner was going to be really special. He had a special chef. They were going to make 2 desserts, and we were just expecting a wonderful date.
I happened to know the chef, and I had contacted him the day before and made arrangements for a special dessert. So after our dinner all concluded, he brought a dessert, of course covered in a tray like they traditionally do, and he opens it up, and it happened to be the forbidden apple. It was an old 1913 room dessert special. It
was so wonderful. And then he said, oh, I have a second dessert prepared for you.
Underneath the lid was the engagement ring box, all decorated up in a beautiful bow with leaves and flowers around it, and she just froze. I was immediately scared and nervous because I really wasn't expecting Murray to ask me to marry him. And she didn't know what to do. And she just almost went into a trance. And I pushed my chair back and I looked at her and I said, you know what this means, don't you? I said, you know, if you open this up, I know what you want for us. Granted, we had lots of conversations about marriage and future. I just didn't know if Murray was the marrying kind because he's never been married. And it was very scary for me because love hasn't always been good to me. So I didn't know what to do. So when I saw the box, I just kind of paused and took that breath and thought, oh wow, I can't believe this is happening. And she didn't know if she should open it or not. And she reached in and she pulled the ribbon halfway apart and she stopped. And my heart just sunk. I thought, oh, maybe she just wants to be friends. And I remember pulling the ribbon and uncovering the box. When I opened the box, it was just a band and it said Friends Forever. It was a friendship ring. And she looked at me and she hugged me and she says, oh, I want to forever be your friend. And Then I knew, because she opened that box up, that she was willing to take the next step with me.
Well, I was kind of having a sigh of relief because I was so nervous and scared. I put the band on and we both shed a little tear, and we decided to call it a night. And Murray said, you know, I think we should go on a little tour of this hotel. I want to show you a couple of rooms that they've done. And I was game. We were just having the most wonderful night, and I didn't want it to end. And
so after dinner, I had prearranged a special room right below the restaurant on the top floor of the Amway. And I said, hey, let's go down. Let me show you part of the hotel you've never seen before. So after dinner, and of course everybody's in on this, the concierge runs downstairs and he fixes up the room and starts lighting all the candles and stuff for me. And
he walked me into this room, and all of a sudden, our song was playing. There was candles everywhere, and the room was dark, and you look over to this table, and there's this great big heart, and there sat the most beautiful, glowing diamond I've ever seen. And I just froze. And I was immediately butterflies, and the tears were starting to roll, and he walked me over to that chair, and he set me there, and he sat in the chair across from me.
I open up the door, and I open up the room, and the whole scenery, the backdrop of Grand Rapids, all lit up, and beautiful candles all spread across the window, and a table sitting right in the front there with 2 chairs, 2 tall candles, and a red rose, and a heart, a velvet red heart. In the middle of that was the ring box, a beautiful diamond ring.
And we just kind of looked at the ring together, and he put it on my finger, and I told him I'd be his forever. After Murray gave me the ring, he took it to get it sized, and we decided that we'd meet at his school on Valentine's Day to meet his class and share our story. And when I went to his class, he ended up showing a video of our life together, and all his fellow teachers came in, and he got on his knee and proposed to me in front of all his teachers and put the ring on my finger and asked me to marry him.
Well, we've talked about the second half. We've talked about the first half too, but we talk more about the second half because we want to make the rest of our life together to be happy. And we want to live that life. We want to live it to its fullest. And the second half is the downhill side of our age group, but it's the uphill side of our commitment and our love for each other.
You know, and I met Andrea, and I found out she had been married before. I guess at my age, it's common, but I had never been married before. And I've always taken marriage and commitment extremely seriously. It's probably why I could never make a commitment. When I asked Andrea to marry me, it was because she was the type of person that I had never met before.
I don't think any relationship or marriage can be without honesty. Honesty is the basis. It's also one of God's commandments, thou shalt not lie. I think honesty is huge. I think if you're always honest, you can always come and break barriers together. Honesty is a way to solve problems. It brings tough to communication, commitment, and honesty. They all go hand in hand.
Andrea's kids are very special. Her oldest daughter, Chelsea, she's such an intelligent, beautiful woman, and she's growing and maturing so fast this last year since I've met her. And Hunter, he's finding himself right now, graduating from high school, going to college, finding a direction in his life right now, and I think we all go through that. Andrea's certainly given those kids a foundation for them to grow on. And then there's Chase, and Chase is just a gas. He's lovable, he's funny, he's humorous, he's very athletic, extremely quick-witted, very intelligent kid, and I love being around him. I want to spend a ton of time with them. I think as a father, and me never having children, these are going to be the only children that I ever have a chance to be with and influence, I hope, in a positive manner.
I think he's going to have some challenges as a stepfather. Murray has never really had children of his own. Granted, he deals with kids every day in a classroom. It's still a little different. He's going to have some challenges. My kids are a little older, and we have one that's a little younger. And but he's fun, and all my kids like Murray very much. I think together we're going to have to conquer some battles, but I think all around the group we're going to have a lot of fun together. I think he's going to be okay. I think he's going to have some trials, oh, definitely. I would like him to see a couple that's really meant to be. People that value the same things, and they see Murray and I really enjoying things together, because we do. We really enjoy life. We're going to have a great second half.
I want people to be able to look into Andrea's eyes and see and know that I do love her, that I will take care of her, and I will be committed to her for the rest of my life.
Thank you.
She's one of the very few people that my mother actually loves. I know that in this marriage that I'm going to love her back as much as she's shown love to me and my mom. Andrea, without being too emotional, I just want you to know that I am going to love you. I am going to be faithful to you. I am going to be committed to you. Unfortunately, to the rest of your life and mine, I want us to be happy together. I want us to make the second half the best half. Andrea, I love you so much. I will love you forever.
I just want you to know, Murray, you've really made me believe in something I really thought was non-existent for me again. I will love you, and I will protect your heart for all of my days.